Welcome back. For those who have subscribed, if you're new here, please subscribe, click the notification bell, share everywhere, including your YouTube community tab. Thumb up the video, comment in the comment section, please and thank you. You could tell by Abby's face. Abby is looking tired. Ellis is tired. They've been standing up, being quiet the entire night. And now it's daytime. They have to interact with people, become aware of their surroundings, probably barter with people. And then even if you do want to sleep during the day, there really isn't anywhere that you can sleep where you have privacy because you don't trust anyone. No one's trusting each other. That's why they don't talk while they're all in town and in Colony House. No one trusts each other. What if you go to sleep and then someone's hovering over you? Or what if you go to sleep, it's time to go hide because you've been by yourself. You don't know it's close to getting dark. So you have to constantly be around people to know if anything is happening, especially it's getting close to dark. Because remember, this is before Boyd was going around with the bell. So a lot of people didn't know when it was going to be getting dark. You got to stay around people, but then you can't really trust anyone to sleep around them. So everybody's walking around sleep deprived. No one's getting any rest in this theory. Keep a note of that. No one is getting sleep. Everybody is struggling. So in the dining room, this is where Donna and Father Kotry tell Abby, Boyd, and Ellis the situation. Abby and Boyd are asking questions. Father Kotry and Donna are saying, all we know is what you see. So no one's made any attempt to go explore the forest. No one's made any attempt to organize anyone. Everyone's individualistic. Boyd volunteers himself to organize the town and Colony House. Donna's in charge of supplies. Abby's in charge of finding different hiding spots for everybody. Boyd asks Father Kotry, okay, the creatures, they only come out at night. So during the day, we can explore and look for stuff. Father Kotry tells Boyd, good luck finding people to help you, because a lot of people were scared to go into the forest. And that's one of many reasons why Boyd was going into the forest by himself, doing everything by himself, because no one wanted to volunteer or even be told to go out and explore because people were afraid. Even after Boyd got the Talisman stones, people were afraid to go out into the forest. So this whole time we've been thinking that Boyd needs to get people to help him. Nobody wants to help him. So that's the reason why Boyd was putting the town, putting the city on his back like an NBA superstar. Abby is looking into town and she says that she had a dream when she was a little girl. I think it was equivalent to when Tabitha had a dream of the township. Abby more than likely had a connection with the town. And in the dream, in this theory, in the dream, Abby may have been herself and was playing duck hunt in the dream that she was having as a little girl. And that is what made her do the duck hunt when she actually got in town. Because in the dream she had as a little girl, she was pow-powing people and then she'd wake up. So it would make sense that with Abby being sleep deprived, having PTSD from military experience, maybe unresolved childhood issues. Right now, she's in shock because she's trapped in this nightmare town. She can't save her family. Firearms don't work on the creatures. She's losing her mind. And she remembers the dream she had as a child. And I think that dream was that she was playing duck hunt, pow-powing people, and waking up. And that's what made her start hurting people when Boyd showed up after being in the forest. Abby was sleepwalking during the town massacre, or she was at least in a day fog because she hadn't slept. And now this is when Abby first got to town. When she started playing duck hunt, weeks had passed, according to what Ellis tells Boyd. Abby is slowly starting to lose her mind. Boyd travels a little bit past the part where Sarah's house is situated, and he just so happens to find Alma the goat with a leash attached to her, which is suspicious. And Boyd tells Father Kotri that Alma or the goat was like half a mile into the forest. And there's also chickens out there and probably a whole host of other stuff. It's more than likely there may be people living in Fromville. They have their own farm, and that's where Alma the goat was. Or possibly there's maybe a farm somewhere where you could walk into Fromville. But I believe that Alma the goat and the chickens came from the same farm, and that's kind of how they got into Fromville, and that's how Boyd found them. So maybe season 4, they will explore this whole animal business of where the animals came from. And maybe that, I'm hoping, keep my fingers crossed, I'm hoping that there's people living in the forest that don't mess with the town because of the creatures. So Ellis wants to talk to his dad, tells Boyd that, look, you've been going into the forest for weeks. You got to stop doing it and tend to us. And I agree. I think that Boyd should have been able to delegate duties to other people to find stuff, but nobody else wanted to do it. So he had to put the whole town on his back to go look for stuff. Ellis presents Boyd with a hard choice because I'm sure that they had low supplies, including not that much food. They needed to find a way out. They had to do something. Boyd had to choose between his family or saving the town, and he chose the town without realizing it until he came back with the talisman stones and had to take Abby out. So unfortunately, there's only so much you can do for someone when they're going through PTSD and they have trauma. In real life, you need a licensed therapist, psychologist, a psychiatrist, some type of licensed clinician to not only diagnose someone with mental illness, but to help them cope with whatever trauma that they're experiencing, to help them get to a healthy state of mind. So there really wasn't anything Boyd could have done for Abby, but because Abby's known as Iron Abby, it's kind of understood or acceptable that Boyd would have been like, she's good. I've deployed. She's deployed. She's tougher than both of us. She's good. And that's usually the mistake when it comes to dealing with people who have trauma, whether it's from violence or an encounter with someone that became assault, SA, any type of traumatic situation when you're dealing with someone who's a cop or used to be a cop, someone that was a veteran, whatever the deal is, a lot of people don't really fully understand mental illness and tend to brush it away because most of the illness and disease that we know about is dealing with the physical body, but not an illness of the mind. There's a lot of stigma associated with that. Even with you caring for someone, most people are not equipped to really help someone deal with mental health issues. So it's real easy to just kind of like wave your hands. They'll be okay. They're touching the head and just kind of ignore people. That's what I experienced while growing up. There'll be somebody in someone's house that was struggling with something and they would just put them in the corner and be like, oh, that's my uncle. Don't worry about him. He's touching the head. You move on with your life and the uncle is suffering. So it's kind of understandable that Boyd would just be like, oh, well, she's Iron Abby. She'll be all right. We got to survive. And Abby suffered because of it. And Boyd was telling Ellis, look, the thing that's going on with Abby and everything, we'll talk about it tonight. So Boyd made a choice without realizing it. And he saved the town, but lost his family, which is very tragic. Boyd says, hey, we'll talk about it tonight. Just hold on, just be patient. And Boyd goes on and continues on his mission. Just like when he was in the service, Mr. Fish and Loaves, taking responsibility to save people, and everything else kind of goes to the wayside. And I'm sure Abby somewhat reverted back to her military state of mind as well, whereas Abby may have been dealing with trauma for years, but may have used escapism or may have covered up the trauma and what she was experiencing. And not saying that Abby did this, but a lot of times military members, this is what I saw when I was in, they will drink to not remember. They will use escapism, hide, their mental scars. They will do things to mask what they're going through and not ask for help because, again, it's a stigma associated with mental health issues. And we see that Ellis is going to Boyd asking to see about Abby, not Abby herself. No fault of her own, because most of the time people don't know how to ask for help or when to ask for help. Boyd emerging from the grotto cave with the talisman stones, and he goes back to town and he hears gunshots. Everybody more than likely just came from their hiding places. Abby's playing duck hunt. She was thinking that she was in the same dream that she was in as a child, doing the same thing where she was pow-powing people and then she'd wake up. The fact that she more than likely did not sleep at night. And she even tells Boyd, when Boyd goes to her, that it's impossible for Boyd to have survived the night in the forest. So she's like, okay, I had this dream as a child. I played duck hunt as a child. I woke up. It's impossible for you to have survived in the forest. This has got to be a dream. Abby, more than likely, wherever she was at for the night, was by herself, spiraling out of control, thinking that Boyd is deceased. Ellis was not with her, and she got in her own head. The trauma exacerbated from thinking that Boyd was deceased. She cracked. And that's why at this point she's singing, "If I Had a Boat." She's gone. Unfortunately, there's nothing you could do. And Ellis comes from around the corner. It seemed like he was running from Colony House. So maybe Ellis throughout the night hid at Colony House or somewhere, maybe at the root cellar, maybe at the school that was converted into a clinic. Ellis was not with Abby. Abby was by herself, more than likely with strangers. She's lost her mind. She's gone. Mentally, she's not there. She has a moment where she's singing "If I Had a Boat." She sees Ellis. She wants to wake Ellis up like she did in the dream when she was a little girl. Boyd has to use lethal action to stop Abby to save Ellis. And this is the reason why Ellis decided to live at Colony House away from his father, because he blamed Boyd for taking Abby's life and also blamed Boyd for not being there for Abby. Boyd may have not been allowed to be at Colony House, because remember, Donna told Boyd, "We made a deal, you don't come here." Even though Boyd was a savior with the talisman stones and finding the livestock, a lot of people may have not trusted anyone who had a firearm, which Boyd was keeping on his person. I think Abby was sleepwalking, or she was tired, thinking that she was in the dream that she had as a child. And that's why she played duck hunt with people. Please subscribe, click the bell, ding the dong, bing the bong, all that great stuff. Share everywhere, including your YouTube community tab. Please and thank you. And also, if you want to donate, you could donate through Super Thanks. That is located where the subscribe button is. And also, you could donate with Cash App. That is $Spade Parkland. And also, you could join the channel membership by clicking the join button near the subscribe button. I do weekly live streams for channel members. So join that if you want to be a part of the channel member live stream. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section your thoughts. Thumbs up the video, share to your social media, subscribe, click notification bell. Thanks for watching. Go forth, do great things, and I'm out. Peace.